Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, we talk about all things fandom on this channel and we talk about them in a positive way. Now, this is Terrifying Tuesday on this channel where we talk about all things horror. And today I thought it would be fun to talk about an upcoming movie sequel slash prequel that you never saw coming, and that is Orphan 3. So let's jump right into it. Alright everybody, so we have to talk a little bit about Orphan 3 because Isabel Fuhrman was at this event in Tampa called Spookala. And she started talking to everyone about all the different things. She was apparently really nice and sweet and answered all their questions while signing autographs, talking about her individual movies. But one writer couldn't help but to ponder about Orphan 3. And when he did, they found out exactly what's going on. And this is really big. This is so cool because Isabel Fuhrman was very open about what this movie is going to be like. If you haven't seen the original Orphan movie, it's about a little girl who gets adopted by this family, only it's not quite a little girl. And then the sequel focuses on how everything came to be. And the movie's kind of one of those movies that was shocking, was so twist and turny type of thing, that it really, really was awesome. And the second one I felt delivered, despite the fact that Isabel Fuhrman was a child playing the part in the first movie. By the second movie, she's 20-something years old, people. And she had done this so flawlessly before that everyone thought that there's no way that the sequel was going to be any good. And the sequel is actually one of my favorite sequels to any horror movie ever done. If you haven't seen these movies, I strongly recommend you check them out. But we're going to assume you saw them for this video because if you're looking at the sequel to this movie, then you probably saw the first ones. So you know exactly what happened. So now, this writer posed the question, is there going to be an Orphan 3? And she said the script is already done. And he asked, is it going to be a sequel or a prequel? To which she responded, both. Both. And she said it's going to be more crazy than all the other movies. Now, I love this idea. So this is exactly what was said. Isabel Fuhrman confirmed that the script to Orphan 3 was already written and that the twists are even wilder and crazier. And she also noted that there was some trepidation about doing the second film after the first well-received film told such a contained story. Fan response to that sequel inspired the creative team to carry on with this new installment. One of the most exciting things is that William Brett Bell of the Boy franchise is back to direct, and David Cogshaw, and I'm sorry if I mispronounced that name, is back to write the script. And he apparently was the one responsible for the second film as well, Orphan First Kill. So this looks like it's going to be utterly amazing. Just by that alone, by what she's saying about it being both a prequel and a sequel. Now, what exactly could that mean? Because either it's a prequel or it's a sequel. Well, she describes it as an in-betweener. That's her words, an in-betweener. So what could that mean? Well, could it mean that it takes place after the events of the prequel, but also maybe jumps ahead in time and takes place after the original as well, because that's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that part of the film would address what happened to her after the events of the prequel. But then we would jump ahead a little bit and get what happened to her after the events of the sequel. Now, what would be really cool in this franchise is if they interconnect the two films together. So, I do anticipate the family from the original possibly being in it. That would be so awesome to see. It would be really cool. It's sort of like this thing where she has to finish what she started. I sort of look at this franchise in the same vein as I look at Chucky, where it would work if they interconnect the various things, but you don't necessarily have to have the same group of characters every time. In the Child's Play movies, granted, they had Andy Barclay return, but they also went into completely different directions in those films. And I didn't think that that was a bad thing because they do tell you the events that happened in the other films as well. And as long as you have films that interconnect and lock together, I think it could work. This leaves so much room for explanation. This leaves so much room for them to explore. Think about the possibilities here. We could get a flashback to all the way before she met the family in First Kill. We could get a flashback that's in between the two movies. But it sounds like the plot is going to involve either the events before First Kill or the events immediately after First Kill. Maybe some new family that she meets, but then about midway through, or possibly somehow towards the end, we get a time jump to where it is the end of the first movie. And we get to find out she survived. Because honestly, that's really your only solution. And if you know how the first movie ended, you know that that is no small feat to actually make it look like she survived. Because honestly, that film was pretty self-contained. There was not much room for a sequel, and they did this prequel, and now they're actually going to be doing a sequel. I think that they're going to need to be extra careful. But with the writing team and what they did in First Kill, I have no question about whether or not they can pull this off. So I'm super excited about this whole thing, to see what they do and to see where they take us. And I couldn't wait to share this with you guys because Orphan First Kill, like I said, is one of my favorite horror sequels of all time. It was flawlessly done, and Isabel Fuhrman is amazing as the character. And you can't help but to find yourself enthralled by whatever situation that they put her in. I enjoy watching these movies and trying to figure out what sort of crazy stuff she's going to do next, because the twist in the first one was just wow. And then you get to that second one and I thought they're not going to be able to surprise me, and they did. So I have complete faith that they're going to give us a good film. But I do want to know what you guys are thinking about all of this. What do you guys think about this situation? What do you guys think about the possibility of this movie now that it's been confirmed? Are you excited about Orphan 3? Are you not excited about it? Do you think that it's time for Isabel Fuhrman to retire this role? Do you think this needs to be the last movie, or could you see more movies possibly coming now that we know there's going to be a sequel and a prequel? What do you think about that? Do you think she somehow survived the events of the first movie? Of course she did, but how? Whatever you guys are thinking about this, all your crazy theories and ideas, I definitely want to hear your thoughts. As always, we want to hear from you guys. Make sure you're leaving us that comment in the comment box below, letting us know what you think. Don't forget to share this video with all of your friends. They're going to want to be a part of this crazy conversation we're having. Then make sure you're hitting that like button. It's free, it helps the channel, and we really do appreciate it. Then Miko says we need more subscribers. And look at this face. You don't want to disappoint Miko. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell while you're down there so you don't miss a single video we do. Then friends, at the end of the day, I know it, you know it, and Miko knows it. Fandom is family.